Supervisor told me sarcastically to call the fire department. I did. Work in retail and between jobs way back when early 90s. Yeah, I'm old. Get off my lawn. It was December, major department store that is no longer around. I know that doesn't narrow it down, sorry. Anyways, they tried to cram as much product on the floor as possible, to the point that you couldn't walk through the aisles and had to twist and turn to get past the fixtures set up with product. I casually mentioned to a supervisor that if the fire department ever came and they would close us down for the hazards and lack of egress. She was highly stressed and blurted out to me, "You know what?" I held my hands up and said, "Easy." She assigned me my duties, and that was that. Well, she did tell me to call. On the way home, I stopped by a government building that had all sorts of agencies in it. Told the receptionist my plight, and she pointed to a phone on the wall. Tell the operator I want the FD, and they would patch me through to the station's non-emergency line. The fire chief himself answered. I told him how crowded it was and what the supervisor said. He had a good laugh and said they'd check it out. I was off the next day, but heard about it when I got back. Fire chief and a station house full of firefighters show up to do an inspection. He tells the store manager that egress is being blocked, and he'd have to remove a lot of the fixtures in the aisles. Store manager says he has orders from corporate, fixtures stay. Fire chief assures him he will win the argument. Store manager stand his ground. They evacuated the store, all 3 levels, and closed all entrances in December, prime Christmas shopping season. Although it wasn't a weekend day, it was during the week, but still. Store manager tried to protest, and suddenly the sheriff's department starts showing up. Long story short, they were closed for 5.5 hours while the chief, store manager, and employees rearranged the store to acceptable levels. The supervisor never treated me differently, so I'm guessing she didn't remember the conversation. The store manager, surprisingly, did not get fired by corporate, but corporate was not happy. About a week later, I'm working with the store manager and supervisor when she asks why we can't do something a certain way. And that was it. I worked there a few more weeks before getting a job that almost got me killed in a workplace shooting. But that's a story for later. I worked there a few more weeks before getting a job that almost got me killed in a workplace shooting. But that's a story for later.